this exercise is a clamshell. You've probably seen it in some version or another, but the reason why I like to do it here is because it targets the deep rotators of the hip, and it's important to get those moving if you have hip pain, back pain, pelvic pain. It's also a nice deep stabilizer of the pelvis. And in doing the exercise with the right form, you're making sure that you have a stable pelvis while the leg is moving, which is something we do for a lot of our functional positions. So when you're on your side in this position, it's not as important where the knees are. So if you find that this is an uncomfortable exercise, feel free to move how much the feet are moving and how much the knees are bent up toward you. So that is something you can modify. But try to be fairly straight with your feet and your body. Usually if this is uncomfortable for people, what relieves discomfort is to bring the knees up just a little bit, or if you can't quite feel it, right in the top back of the bum, and which is where you're gonna want to feel it. So make sure ribs are in, you're not flaring your ribs out, and also you're not sagging the hip too much here, that it stays down. You can put your head all the way down if that's more comfortable for you. And feet stay together as the knees lift and lower to about the height of your shoulder. You're keeping the hip forward. So if you need to put your hand on your hip so that you can see that the hip is not moving, then go ahead and do that. You want to avoid rotation of the spine as you're doing this with each motion, or if it's just kind of gradually tipping back, then you're going to be getting motion in the lumbar spine instead of directly onto the hip. So it might take a few reps to start to feel this right here. And if you're not feeling it, bend the knees up. If it's too easy, you can place a TheraBand around your knee to make you pull apart against some resistance. Or you can add variations such as lifting the lower leg, and that gives you just a little bit of an extra modification. Or you can do little pulses into this position too, kind of top range pulses, and that will get a little bit deeper into that muscle. Do about 3 sets of 10 to 15. The last few should feel a little bit like you're working on that hip. I like this a lot for my women who are pregnant, but you may not want to be switching side to side to get your sets in, because that can be uncomfortable too. So you can do all of your sets on one side, or you can do a set on one side and rest, do another and rest, and then switch to the other side and do your other side there, till you don't have to flip back and forth as you get in enough sets on each side.